Why do we love watching series? A Gestalt psychology perspective. Hello everyone, and thank you for being here today. Today I'd like to talk about something many of us do almost every night, sometimes without even thinking about it, watching series. Whether it's Netflix, Disney Plus, or YouTube miniseries, watching episodic stories has become one of the most common pastimes of modern life. But here's the interesting question. Why do we love watching series so much? Why do people binge watch entire seasons? Why do we feel emotionally connected to characters who don't even exist? Today, we are going to explore these questions through the lens of Gestalt psychology, one of the most fascinating perspectives in the field of perception and meaning-making. Gestalt psychology, as many of you know, focuses on the idea that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. It's about how humans naturally organize information into meaningful wholes. So, what does that have to do with series? A lot, actually. Let's dive in. 1. Gestalt 101. How our mind makes sense of the world. Before connecting Gestalt to series, let's quickly cover the basics. Gestalt says that we don't perceive the world in fragments. We don't see loose pieces of sound, color, and movement. We automatically group things into patterns and wholes. Some famous Gestalt principles include closure, continuity, similarity, figure ground, proximity, meaningfulness. Our brain is constantly organizing stimuli into coherent forms. It's automatic. It's instinctive. It's how we survive a complex world. Now, bring this idea into the world of TV series, and suddenly everything starts making sense. 2. Principle of closure. The reason we can't stop at one more episode. Closure is the Gestalt principle that says, when something is incomplete, our mind pushes us to complete it. That's exactly why cliffhangers work. When a series ends an episode with the main character in danger, a secret revealed but not explained, or a storyline abruptly cut, our brain experiences psychological tension. It wants the pattern to close. It wants the story to complete. This tension is uncomfortable, so what do? We click on the next episode. In fact, closure is one of the strongest forces in binge watching. Series creators understand this well and use it deliberately, ending episodes at the precise moment that prevents closure. Our minds hate unfinished gestalts. 3. Continuity. Why we get hooked on long storylines. Another Gestalt principle is continuity, our tendency to follow a flow, a direction, a narrative trajectory. In series, there is a storyline that moves forward. Characters develop over time, events are connected in a chain. Once our brain has entered this trajectory, it likes to follow it to the end. Continuity makes us feel like we're on a path, and we want to stay on that path. Even if nothing extraordinary happens in an episode, continuity itself pulls us forward. We stay because the journey feels unfinished. 4. Figure ground. Why characters stand out and become real to us. Think about your favorite series character. Maybe it's Walter White from Breaking Bad, Eleven from Stranger Things, or a character from a Turkish drama or a sitcom. Have you ever noticed how they seem to pop out of the screen? Why they feel more real than background characters? This is the figure ground principle. The main characters become the figure, while everything else, background characters, settings, random events, is the ground. Series carefully design. Lighting, camera focus, dialogue, narrative attention, to make certain figures stand out. As a result, we attach to them. We follow them. We care about what happens to them. Gestalt explains why our mind naturally differentiates figure from ground and invests emotionally in the figure. This is why losing a beloved character can feel like losing a real friend. 5. Similarity and proximity. Why we feel connected to groups in series. Why do we become fans of certain teams or friend groups in series? Think of the group in Friends, the family in The Sopranos, the squad in La Casa de Papel. Gestalt principles tell us why. Similarity. We perceive elements that are similar, whether in personality, appearance, or behavior, as belonging together. When a series shows characters dressed similarly or facing similar struggles, we instantly see them as a meaningful unit. Proximity. Characters who spend time together on screen, sharing space, dialogue, or challenges, also form a unit in our minds. This is why we root for couples' romantic proximity. We love best friend duos, and we get emotionally invested in teams. Gestalt shows that our brain organizes characters into psychological groups, and we start caring about these groups as if they were our own social circles. 6. Meaningfulness. Why series help us make sense of life. One of the deeper Gestalt ideas is that humans look for meaningful wholes, not random fragments. In our own lives, events sometimes feel chaotic, disconnected, lacking closure or clarity. Series give us what real life often cannot: structure and meaning. A typical series provides conflicts with purpose, character growth arcs, cause and effect relationships, satisfying resolutions. This doesn't always happen in real life, but in series, meaning is built into the narrative. So, watching a series can feel psychologically comforting because it provides the Gestalt, the coherent whole, that our own messy experiences sometimes lack. 7. The whole is greater than the sum of its episodes. Perhaps the biggest Gestalt idea is this: the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. A series isn't just Episode 1, Episode 2. It becomes a world, a meaningful system, a complete Gestalt. This is why we feel nostalgic when a series ends. We rewatch old favorites, and we feel like we're living inside the story. What we love is not individual episodes. It's the wholeness created by the combination of character, story, emotion, and meaning. Gestalt psychology explains that humans don't attach to parts, we attach to wholes. And a good series gives us exactly that. A world we can enter, understand, and emotionally inhabit. 8. So, why do we love watching series? From this perspective, we love series because they meet the brain's natural ways of organizing reality. Closure keeps us watching. Continuity pulls us through long storylines. Figure ground helps us bond with characters. Similarity and proximity make us care about relationships. Meaningfulness gives us emotional satisfaction, and the whole of a series gives us a world richer than its individual scenes. So, series are the perfect match for the human perceptual system. They are structured exactly the way our minds prefer to experience reality. To wrap up, we don't just watch series for entertainment. We watch them because they align beautifully with how our minds work. Gestalt psychology shows us that series are not just stories. They are psychological experiences built on principles of perception, emotion, and meaning-making. So the next time you click next episode, remember, it might not be you who's hooked. It might be your mind, simply trying to complete a Gestalt. Thanks for listening. Subscribe for more.